lost Dennis already.
Oh, bro.
We done lost
As
that
soon as
dude
that line by here was like, nope.
already. He moving, so his Wi-Fi is pretty. It's not that good. All right, let me go to Instagram and go live there. Let me see. Yep, yep, and boom, we live on Instagram too. Man,
Instagram.
let me see. All right, we live. Hey, man, if y'all on here, please share this with somebody. We need to get our numbers up tonight. I know I didn't remind y'all or set anything for y'all to remember or to look out for, but we are here, and I need y'all to be on here, man. I need y'all to be here with me. I need to talk to y'all. We got some serious stuff to talk about, and I need y'all. I need y'all. I need my squad in here to talk. Um, I'll be wanting to vent a little bit first, but people don't want me to vent. They want me to just stick to the topic. So I'm gonna try to stick to the topic.
Man, it's your show. Vent.
I
Vent,
know
bro.
I need to vent. I need to vent, but people, it's a sensitive subject, and black folks, I don't want them to try to take my black card for, you know, trying to progress in this season. Why are you so black, man? I can't see nothing. Uh-oh. I lost him too. Hey, man, y'all sign on, man. Welcome to the ItsMENtalPodcast. I'm just trying to get all my people on and trying to see what's popping, man. Come through. My guests are going to be on here shortly. I don't know what happened. They was both on, and now they both gone, man. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to get my boys with some good technology. Because they don't have good technology, I'm waiting on them to get on. But, man, while they coming on, welcome to the podcast. What's going on? Hit me up. Say hello in the chat. Let me know that you are there. Oh, that's what's up. I'm live on TikTok too. I just had to check. I never really check on TikTok. But man, share this with somebody. Send it to somebody's inbox. I need to make sure that they are on and watching. We got to get our numbers up. I got a very dope show for y'all tonight. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be quick. And there you go. There we go. There we
Yeah.
go. I got my
Gang
boy
banging,
Cliff. All
bro.
right, we can. Yeah, he doing a drive by. So yeah, man, welcome to this mental podcast, man. You can follow us on TikTok, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I think that's all of them. Jamar said Cliff. Hey, we doing another guys trip this year. I'm gonna make it affordable and easy. We doing another one. You ain't gonna need no passport, Cliff. I know you got them situations. we gonna do another guys. I don't know where yet. We're gonna figure it out, man. But we're gonna do something where
we have to, bro.
we have to. We have to.
We have to.
Yeah, it's
I gotta see my
mandatory.
nigga Jamar.
Yeah, it's mandatory. We got to do one, man. We got to do one. Oh man, I'm trying to I just had a conversation before I started the live talking about. I understand some people don't like Donald Trump, right? I get it. I get it. People just don't like him at all, right? I get it.
That's how
There's
we
certain
started.
people. Listen, but we're not gonna talk about that. But I just gotta get this off my chest. Let me get off my chest, okay? Then we can get into the real topic. But let me get this off my chest. I get it. People hate Donald Trump. I get it. I get it. But you can't not stop your life thinking that he might do something bad to mess up your life later on down the road. I just don't understand. I've heard so many times black people like, oh, you never know what Trump might do. I don't know. We got to be careful because Trump might do this or Trump might do that. I heard somebody say the LA wildfires were started because Trump supporters were mad that LA didn't vote for Trump. That's the dumbest.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's
Dumb. The little stuff Trump doing is not as major as y'all are making it out to be. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big. He's never going to do anything that's going to hurt the economy. His main goal is to fix the economy. He said that. That's what he's trying to do. You may not like it. Okay, cool. You ain't gotta like it. But golly, people are like really don't even want to be my friend because I voted for Donald Trump. It's like I'm not going to agree with everything he does, but I'm not going to stop my life because of stuff that he does. I'm still going to move forward. I'm still going to progress. I'm not worried about what they're doing in the White House. Like, where is your trust? Like, where's your trust? Where's your faith? Where's your just mindset? Are we so controlled by the news, by the media, by the narrative that we stop living our lives because they tell us to hate this one man? Sorry, he just don't have that much power. He really don't. He don't.
He's stepping on a lot of toes, though, bro.
He's stepping on toes, but so what? Let him step. Let's see how it works out. Stepping on toes.
China.
China. I want to do a Trump show so bad. I do. But I want to we still have Black History Month, Jamar. I don't want to hear that. We still got Black History Month. It ain't gone. It's still here.
Might go away. I don't know. It might go away. I didn't say it, but others have. So,
but I should do a Trump show. But when I do a Trump show, I'm gonna have facts. I'm not gonna have opinions. Some facts might be good, some facts might be bad. But when I do it, I'm gonna have facts. Facts, just straight facts, good or bad. Facts. So I'm gonna do a Trump show, but I can't do it tonight. So I just had to get that off my chest because Black people is making me mad. They're making me mad. All right. But with that being the case, how y'all doing tonight? All right. So last week, man, we had a really, really dope show, right? And I kind of want to switch gears, right? I know a lot last year we talked a lot about relationships, right? Men versus women, how men see relationships and things like that. We talked about sexual relationships, friendships, parent relationships, all that stuff. And it was cool, right? It was cool. But what happened last week was a conversation with Dennis, and he's supposed to be on here tonight too. And he was very open about it. You can go back and watch. I think everyone should watch it. He was very open about his struggles with alcoholism and how it affected his life and the struggles that he goes through to try to quit and stuff like that. It was very impactful. I got so many great reviews, and I kind of want to stay on that pathway, right? I kind of want to stay on the pathway of talking about mental health. And although people may not realize it, alcoholism is considered a mental health condition. It's considered a mental health condition.
Yes.
And also, y'all see, I don't have the ladies on here because a lot of the men weren't feeling comfortable with the ladies on. We couldn't express ourselves and be ourselves and talk how we wanted to talk. Wait, see, look, people getting on saying Trump should be making me mad. Oh my God. See, this is why I didn't want to start off the show like this. Oh my God.
I'm just drinking my juice.
Anyway, I'm not talking about Trump tonight. What up, Chris? I'm not talking about Trump tonight. I just had something that was grinding my gears. Listen with y'all. I voted for Donald Trump. Yes, I did. Okay. Do I think he's the greatest person in the world? No. I think he's a fool sometimes. But that's what I voted for. Whatever. Get past that. Tonight, we're talking about mental health, okay? And we're talking about mental health in men, specifically Black men. And I've been doing some research about it, right? And the three most common mental health conditions that affect men, especially Black men, are depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. Depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. So I'm gonna give you some definitions, some background on it, and we're gonna get into our conversation. Depression, a persistent low mood that can interfere with daily life. Men with depression are less likely to be diagnosed than women. Men are more likely to die by suicide than women, even though they attempt suicide less often. Think about that. Women attempt suicide more, but men are more successful at completing suicide. So keep that. That's when we talk about depression. All right. Anxiety. Second one is anxiety. Anxiety, an uncontrollable feeling of fear and worry, generalized anxiety disorder, GAD. So generalized anxiety disorder is an uncontrollable feelings of fear and or worry. Social anxiety disorder and obsessive compulsive disorder are common types of anxiety disorder. These are the things that are heavy in men. Substance abuse, we talked about last week with Dennis. He struggles with alcoholism. Men are more likely to abuse alcohol, illegal drugs, or prescription drugs than women. Substance abuse can cause physical and emotional issues in social and professional life. So let me ask you, Cliff, have you ever experienced any mental health issues?
Yes.
Okay, which one would you have say
So
you experienced?
I've experienced and I'm still dealing with anxiety.
Mm.
I used to. Well, let me before we start that. So I'm still dealing with anxiety. I've dealt with depression. I've dealt with not alcoholism,
Mm-hmm.
but sex.
Mm.
My addiction to sex.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my go-to. Whether it was like having sex with multiple women, porn. Uh, yeah. So that was it. So uh, yeah. So in
Mm-hmm.
2014, uh, before I made the decision to marry my wife, because we got married in 2015, I went through a deep
Mm-hmm.
depression. Um, to where like I attempted
Mm.
suicide. Uh, oh no, sorry, I was going to attempt suicide after church.
Wow.
So I was in a bad place, man. I wasn't working. I just lost my car. I'm still dealing with some issues uh, with my ex at the
Mm-hmm.
time. Worrying about how to be a dad, how to provide, and then I'm getting
Mm.
married, and worrying about how I'm going to provide for the next woman. I mean, not
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
but where how I'm going to provide for my
Mm-hmm.
fiance, and it just hit me out of nowhere. It wasn't like it was like a lead up. It was like one day I was great and I was fine. We was happy, having fun. Just got back from a nice little vacation from
Mm-hmm.
LA, and then whoa,
Wait. Is that
then
after you came to visit me? Like when I was like, I still had the
yeah,
ankle bracelet on.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Yep, that was that week, bro.
Dang.
And um, I came home and it just hit me, bam. One day I just stopped talking,
Mm.
and I stopped talking for that whole day. And my fiance, well, my wife now, my fiance at the time, was like, "What is wrong with you? Why are you not talking?" I was just like, all these thoughts were just taking over and going through my
Mm.
head. And then that Sunday, I wrote a letter on a Saturday. I wrote a letter to my
Mm-hmm.
daughters, wrote a letter to Shy, wrote a letter to my mom. I wrote a letter to one of my good friends for like 20 some years. Her name is
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte,
Oh, we lost him. Okay, there we
and
go.
that was it, man. And I was gonna take my and I went to church, and the message
Mm-hmm.
was about being strong. Uh, and that day, the pastor laid his hands on me, man, and like prophesied over me and talked to me,
Mm-hmm.
basically telling me what I was gonna do. He didn't basically say like I was gonna commit suicide, but he was saying like you got too much to live for.
Mm-hmm.
You like I see this and I see that, and like I just snapped, bro.
Dang.
I just snapped out of it, and then I took the letters out of my pockets
Uh-huh.
and laid it at the altar,
Dang.
and that was pretty much it. Yeah, man, that was pretty much it for that season.
Yeah, yeah.
And I used to deal with panic attacks a lot, man. So I used to have panic attacks almost daily.
Yeah, I remember. I
They used
remember.
to last for about 10, 15. Yeah, it used to last about 10, 15 minutes, man. And after that week too, man, the panic attack started going away.
Mm.
Now I deal with worry. I deal with anxiety now, but it's more so the worry side of it
Mm-hmm.
is because like I I personally am afraid of the unknown.
Mm.
So I don't know, like when stuff starts moving and shaking, especially when we get new powers in office, I don't care who it is, whether it be Democrat or Republican.
Mm.
It's always an unknown of what might happen or what might
Mm.
do. Taxes and blah blah blah, and affordable home care and Medicare and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's always like the first 100 days or the first 3 or 4 months. I'm like, man, like what's going on with the
Yeah.
world? But anyway, so worrying a lot about like taking care of my family. Am I being a good dad? Am I being a loving
Mm-hmm.
husband? Am I doing things right? Am I spending enough time at home? Am I taking too much time on video games? So it's just like all of these thoughts I deal with on a daily basis when it comes to uh, worry and
That's
anxiety.
cool.
But
Mm. So I
yeah, go
want
ahead,
to
sir.
chime in there, man, because thank you for sharing that you were about to attempt suicide, and actually you kind of empowered me, right? I don't think I've told anyone. I don't think I've even told my wife this, and I don't think anyone knows this. I actually attempted suicide, or was about to attempt suicide, I would say. Um, I was struggling in school. I was a sophomore in college. I broke up with my baby mama. Just had a 1 year old daughter. Um, I couldn't even be at my 1 year old daughter's birthday because one of her cousins was talking about fighting, and she wanted her cousins to fight me. And my mom and my aunt was like, "Don't go there, starting problems and stuff. It's better that you just don't go, start a problem." And I broke up with her, and then I got with this other girl in college, and I got this 4 bedroom house in on the house that the 4 bedroom house,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
we living it right.
Baseline.
We living together, everything cool. All of a sudden, like me and her fall out, and she kind of chose the fast life over being in a relationship with me. So I feel like I broke up with my baby mama, got my daughter at home. I kind of put that on, and I'm young and dumb, y'all, so don't judge me. Put that on the back burner to be with you, and now you leave me for the quote unquote the streets. Like you leaving me for fast life, fast money, being a dance, not a dancer at a strip club, being a waitress at a strip club. Like you leaving me for that. Yeah,
Oh, I think
yeah.
I know.
And then
Yeah.
so that happened. And then so now I got this 4 bedroom house. She was supposed to be there and pay some of the rent. Her brother was supposed to be there, pay the rent, and her cousin. So we were supposed to split that rent 4 ways. First month, all three of them is gone. So I'm stuck with this rent by myself. Me and my baby mama not talking. I don't know about seeing my daughter. I went out there to see my daughter, and she wouldn't let me see her. I'm in the middle of going through all this stuff with child support, school. I'm messing up in school. Life is just kicking my butt, and I feel like I have nowhere to turn, bro. I literally had a bottle of Hennessy, and I'm gonna have my 40 caliber pistol, and I was sitting in one of the
Yeah.
guest rooms with the lights off, man, drinking, drinking, and I had the gun. I'm loading the gun up, and I just scream. I scream, bro. I remember I was crying. So I was screaming. I was like, Jesus! I scream, right? I just scream, and I was just screaming, and I hold it. It felt like a pain inside of my body. It hurt so bad, like all this stuff. Think about this. I'm 20 years old, man. I'm not 40, so I'm 20 years old, and I have all this stuff on there, right? And I didn't know what else to do. And then something told me to get up and read my Bible, man. It was like, get up, read your Bible at that time. I didn't know what to do. So I got up and I just started reading my Bible, bro. And I feel like that's the only thing that made me not do it. Because I was ready. I had the pistol there. I was gonna drink and I was done. I was done. And I just think that I think as men, right? And I'm gonna get to you too, Dennis, because I figure like you have a story there too. We talking about mental health issues in men. So right now, Cliff shared Alicia. I'm just filling Alicia in. We talk about mental health in men, and we're talking about depression right now. And Cliff said he attempted suicide. I attempted suicide at one point in our life, and so I just want to say like oh yeah, I told you the shorter version. Okay, I didn't know if I had told you or not. But yeah, so
Can you hear me? Am I
no,
breaking
I
up?
hear you. You good. It's just Cliff, when you're not talking, I need you to mute because your background is loud.
It's loud.
All right, there we go. Boom. Okay, cool. Now we can focus. My bad, y'all. Uh, so yeah, man, I think that really saved my life. I don't know, how I dealt with that moving forward. I know there was some substance abuse there. There was some depression was there. But all that coming down on you as a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, at one time is just heavy. And I think as men, sometimes we just feel like we got to carry everything and we don't know which way to turn. And we got to carry the whole load by ourselves and we don't know how to handle those things. We don't know how to reach out. Our ego and our pride won't let us talk to one another and say these certain things. And we kind of just deal with it on our own. Like you said with Cliff, he had just left my house. He didn't mention that stuff to me at all. You know what I mean? And I was friends with Cliff at that time too. I didn't reach out to him or anything. I think me and Cliff, I don't think we had met yet. I don't remember. I don't think we had met yet. But yeah, I had other friends, some of my homies. I didn't reach out to none of them. And we kind of just handled it on our own. Dennis, tell me, man, have you ever suffered with depression?
Well, yeah, like we talked about last week. Um, Definitely, even still now, dealing with it. It doesn't leave you. It's how you deal with it or how you overcome it. But it's still gonna try to chase you. I can, and one of the things I thought about, I was talking to somebody maybe yesterday, is that the black man's upbringing has a lot to do with in his 20s, the pressures that he's put. We not all of us have guidance to go to this, like, oh, go to college, and then guide us, and not like how they do now. I was talking to my sister where she's like, she forced my nephew to
Yeah.
literally stay in school to get his master's when he was ready to quit
Right,
last
right.
year. Like seeing his buddies go make 100 grand straight out of Brown, and she's like, yeah, they'll work for you one day with your masters, and so, but having someone on your butt, not all of us had.
You broke up. Not all of us had. Oh, and he's gone. And he's out.
Oh, man.
I think he was on this. He was doing good. Well, hold on. Let me see. Right, there you go.
Can you hear me?
All right, yeah.
Can you hear me?
You said not all of us had.
It's like a bad. I don't know. Like I must live in a bad area. Not all of us had like the guidance of people around us to say, no, let's map out this thing for you. You know what I'm saying? And so what happens is we're told, get up, get out, and get something. Don't let the days of your life pass by, right? So, like, oh shoot, I gotta make this money. I ain't in school for athletics, or if you come out of athletics in college, like I ain't go to the pros, or I ain't, back then our day trying to make.
Yeah, you was in a good spot. Wherever you was initially, you was in a good spot. Now you breaking up. Wherever you was initially in a good spot. Now you breaking up.
I'm gonna have to come. I'm coming out. This is.
That ain't a bad spot. That's that Britney Spears.
Hit me, baby. Is that her? Hit me, baby. Hold on.
It's Think, Mike.
How about?
Yeah, I'm gonna mute you, Dennis. Hold on. All right, I muted Dennis for a second till he get into a stable spot. I just want to aspire to.
One of these days we're gonna have a good.
One of these days. Marche. So when I say attempting suicide, meaning like that was the goal. The goal was to complete the act, right? I'm not trying to get into technicalities of attempting or wanted to attempt. Yes, I wanted to. The point is we were at a place where Cliff and I both were at a place where it was something where our state of mind was prepared to do those things. So she said it's mainly negative thoughts, right? So is it men's willpower that needs to build in order to control those intrusive thoughts? I don't know. I'll say kind of. Hold on. I'll say kind of. Hold on.
How am I now?
I don't know, but you got me through the speaker in your car.
Yeah, I'm about to take that off.
Yeah, take that off. Hey, Dennis, I'll unmute you when you take that off. Let me know. Give me the thumbs up or something when you take it off. I don't know if it's men's willpower. I mean, I think it's yes, we should control those intrusive thoughts, right? You should be able to get our minds focused on certain things that can help us with those thoughts, right? But I think it's a process. I think it's a process of learning to deal with those thoughts. I don't think it's a matter of willpower, because that's what we're taught as men, to just be strong, resist it. Don't do this, don't do that. I got you, Dennis.
One day.
Yeah.
Can you hear
So
me?
we're taught that as we're good. So we're taught as men to be strong, right? Like you kind of what Dennis was saying, be strong, don't cry, don't, you can't have these type of emotions. And I think to be emotionally healthy, as to be an emotionally healthy human, you have to recognize the emotions that you're having and learn how to properly deal with them. I think it's less of a problem of willpower, but more of a problem of knowing how to deal with your own personal mental health issues and the things that you're struggling with. What do you think about that, Cliff
Yeah, but how you tell a
or
kid that's
Dennis?
18,
Mhm.
19, 20 to control you control your thoughts and your emotions when you're
Exactly.
being programmed to not have it? So no, I
Exactly.
disagree. We
Yeah.
at 18 we told get out of high school, go. Some people,
Hmm.
some boys got kicked out the home
Or
on the
suck it up
street.
and be a man. Or suck it up and
Be
be
a
a
man.
man.
Suck it up. Don't
Yeah.
cry. Go out and get
Yeah.
something. Now, if you
Right.
that's the ones that didn't have guidance to say, hey, let's get you into a school. Let's do this, do that. Some of us, and then you go to the military. Some people go to the military. You know what I'm saying, and they stay there, which is cool. There's the guidance. You're
Mm.
forced to grow up quick
Yeah.
in the
Right.
military. But you out here in these streets, and then somebody say, hey man, you need to get it right, and then it's usually somebody outside your family that come in and say, hey man, let me mentor you. Let me
Yeah.
get you right. But you
Yeah.
can't tell a 22-year-old to get your thoughts right and don't be thinking this. When these are the ages when you may have them thoughts. I was in the Navy and I climbed over the side of the ship. I
Hmm.
didn't want to commit suicide, but I was like, if somebody can catch me, I get the sympathy card and maybe they'll let me off. But the thought of climbing on the side of the ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, if I let go by mistake, they're not gonna find me in the middle of the night.
Mm.
So I
Right.
climbed back over like that was dumb, Dennis.
Hmm.
Lonely, isolated from family, lonely,
Mm.
trying to figure your life out at 18. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And so um you know you gotta it's almost like systematic. You got a culture that literally the Gen Xers on down were told differently than our parents and our grandparents were taught.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, Cliff, you even started talking about anxiety, right? And I think, so I'm gonna be honest. I personally, I maybe in the last 2, maybe 3 years, really have accepted the fact that mental health issues are a real thing. Right. I was one of those people like, oh, these people just weak. Oh, they just using this as an excuse. That was me. Right. I was one of those people like, nah, this is fake. Y'all ain't got, to me, mental health was you need to be medicated in a hospital, in the crazy house. I hate that, mystical. Like they keep bumping me against the wall. You know what I mean? Like that's what I used to when I heard
Mystical.
mental health. I thought of it like that. But true mental health, on even on the lowest levels, can just look like anxiety, right? Like having real anxiety. Like Cliff said, he was having panic attacks, and I even feel like me, where worry becomes anxiety, where it eats away at your mind, eats away at your thoughts, and eats away at your emotions, and it just kind of wears you down and brings you down. It's almost uncontrollable, right? When you have anxiety. Cliff, talk to me a little bit more about that because you were going into that.
Um, Nobody. I've never met anybody who can consistently run a mile or run and just nonstop. Eventually, you're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
tired.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, marathon runners have to slow down. Their bodies get weary. They get beat up from either the weather, the
Mm-hmm.
terrain, from like stepping on the ground. I'm saying all this to say that that's what happened when depression
Mm.
sets in. Like you going and you try to fight, but eventually you're just
Yeah.
tired. You just don't want to deal with the situation anymore. It's not as if we
Mm-hmm.
can't or we don't want to. It's like we physically cannot deal with it.
It starts to eat
So
your
your
body
body
starts to
gets
shut
tired.
down, right? You start
Yeah,
to feel
like
it.
you literally your body shuts down and you're tired. Like your mental is tired. You don't want to get up. You don't want it's
Mm-hmm.
debilitating. So it's not like, oh man, get your mind right. It's like I can't. I physically can't. Like somebody has to come grab me out of the
Mm-hmm.
bed, splash water on me, physically move my body for me to like start the day. Like, don't, don't. I'm not saying that they did this, but don't. If somebody tells you they're being depressed, the words that are coming out of your mouth shouldn't be, "Oh man, get this together," blah blah blah. It should be, "How can I help you? What we need to do to get you on track." It should be, "How can I be there for you?" Not like, "Oh man, you just get your mind right." No, man, like I physically can't. Like I want to just go away.
Yeah.
My mindset is I don't care. I just want to go away. If I don't exist, I don't have to deal with these issues anymore. It's not that we don't want to, it's that we just can't. But anyway,
Like,
anxiety. It's also a debilitating thing. It used to be for me because I used to have to like get up, walk around, breathe, remember techniques to like calm myself down. I started putting like scriptures in my head, Philippians 4:6. I started putting Psalms 18:2. I started putting anyway, just more scriptures about peace. You know, John 10:10. Living an abundant life. Like I started putting like scriptures in my head to combat those thoughts of anxiety, because anxiety, it's false evidence appearing real, which is fear. So you think something's going to happen, but it's really not happening. Like it's a mental battle with. To me, I'm gonna get all Christianese, but it's a mental battle with the enemy physically. Mentally. So it's like he's saying something here, and you starting to believe it. Now you're worrying about it, and now like that just knocks your whole day out. So it knocks your tomorrow out. It knocks your next week out. But like I have to focus on, like, the Bible just tells us what do we gain by worrying about tomorrow?
Let tomorrow worry about itself.
Like, let tomorrow worry about itself. And like once I get a hold of that is when I started to control it. But anxiety is not something that just builds up, man. Like it's not like, oh, I had an upbringing of this, and this, or like it hits like out of the blue to me. You know, maybe it does have a small piece of like an upbringing, but to me, all the people I know, anxiety just comes out of like you have one worry thought, and then like there's the anxiety that just starts taking over from that point on. So, do I believe in medication? Yes, I think medication do work. Do I think people should always use medication for anxiety and depression? No, I don't think so. Like some of the stuff you can really
combat.
There are other alternatives.
And I don't think people should get dependent. And I think that's kind of my issue. I think people get dependent on that, and they get dependent on the sympathy that they get from those things. And I think that we are actually, especially as believers, right? We are called to break out of those things, right? Those things should not hold us down. We can't be examples of the kingdom if we're letting depression and anxiety, although they're real things that we may experience, hold us back from completing our life's purpose. And I think a lot of times, especially as men, because we have the responsibility of financial, being the financial head of our household, or making sure our finances are good. Well, even if your wife or your girl, whoever makes more money, you still got to make sure everything is structured rightly so that the house is taken care of, right? We got to be protectors. We got to be providers. We have to make sure we're leading, right? Even if we're not married, we're leading our children, or we're leading some way, some shape, form in our lives. And a lot of things come down on us to where we're thinking about bills, and we're thinking about kids, and we're thinking about this woman, and we're thinking about our car, and we're thinking about anything that we have to do in life. And it all can come together like this and cause so much, our minds to worry so much on those things, that it starts to have an effect on our bodies. What do you think, Dennis? Talk to me.
Well, when it comes to the medication thing, like they really want you to work on you so much to where you ease yourself off of those type of medication. They don't give you that to keep it forever. It's like when I'm on antidepressants, but I don't take them every day now because I got off the alcohol. Because I start praying more and getting my faith, you see what I'm saying? Or I'm, eating better, so they want you to kind of change your habits We
Oh man,
love that.
wait.
He eat
One of y'all.
potato chips. He got the potato chips. We can hear them ruffle them lays.
That's what it
But
sounded like.
I like to attack the root. You know
Mm.
how many men over 40 never heard their father tell them they love them? I love you,
I
son.
haven't. I haven't.
Or right, you didn't meet him. He was
Never
too
met
much
him.
on drugs, alcohol.
Yeah.
He was too manly and couldn't do
Mm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
His love language was, I put a roof over your head, do what I
Mm.
say. You know,
Mm-hmm.
how many of them never heard, I'm proud of you, son?
Mm.
Right? So then, right, I got nephews now, they excel. I tell them, I hear more I love you, and I'm saying I love you. They learned that from me and my sister, my family, obviously, but they hear me
Mm.
saying I love you, that they say it so much too. It's letting you know. But also, if you don't be 100%, or you don't be, if they're not 100, make 100%, or they don't make the touchdown, or they got 4 A's and a B, I'm still proud of you. I don't come at that one fail. I'm
Mm-hmm.
proud of you. They don't.
Yeah.
We didn't hear that.
S-
Watch this. Watch this. You know how many mothers in our that told our age group when we was teenagers, you
mm.
just like your daddy. You
Yeah.
look like him. You act like him. And then
Mm-hmm.
that mother built something up against that child based off her emotions toward his father, which he
Daddy.
had
Yeah.
nothing to do with. Now
Yeah.
he goes into the world,
And starts acting
and
like
if
that.
he know his daddy, now he want to. What's daddy like? Daddy out here
Yeah.
looking like a pimp, right? So he's like, well, I'm about
Yeah.
to. So what's the first thing we used to say when we meet up with the homies? Hey, where the yo's at?
Right. Right. Right.
Not, hey man, you all right? What you going through? You know what the
Exactly.
answer to that
And
is? None. I'm good. All right, well
yeah.
let's go get some yo. Let's go to the club, get some
Right.
yos.
So let me answer. I'm gonna go to the comments. I see some really good comments. Chris answered the question about how do you teach a young man. I think that's a great answer, Chris. Nobos. He know who I'm talking to. That's a great answer. Kim Lewis said, I think
Wait,
men not having a sound community of peers also plays a role. It's a lot of unlearning the Black community has to do when it comes to how to handle our emotions. I agree with that 100% because we, as men, we don't reach out, and then people don't try to recognize it in us either. They do not try to recognize in. I'm gonna be honest, Dennis. You shared. I said this, and I'm the first one to say what you shared yesterday gave me a completely different outlook on you, and maybe give me a lot more compassion for some of the things that you've done in the past. Right? I was just like, Dennis, you're just being weird. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I used to be so annoyed, but it helps me understand you were dealing with a bigger issue that as your friend, because I'm not a man to recognize that in you, you're struggling with depression, you're struggling with anxiety, you're struggling with loneliness, you're struggling with alcoholism. And as a friend, as men, we're not taught how to be emotional with each other, right?
right.
So I can't recognize that you're struggling. So having that support system community is definitely a thing that we as Black people, especially as men, need to learn and need to do. And Marche said, besides the church, what other coping skills are there for men in the community? She said, I'm a strong believer, don't shoot the messenger, but I think some people's trauma can come from church, therefore other things or even people. I agree. And I don't even think it's the church, because remember, I didn't say church, Cliff didn't say church, Dennis didn't say church. We said the Bible. The Bible is our relationship with Christ. So that's one. But here's some other things. You need a support system, right? Um, uh, Dennis, his pastor, but it's his support. He don't even physically go to this guy's church, but he's a spiritual leader in his life. Pastor Stan, who was on last week, is a support system for him. He has brothers like me. He has another brother, Ivory. He has some other, motorcycle brothers and stuff like that he got, that he can go to. I said, I got
Yeah, I don't
friends
go to
too.
them.
No, they might be the ones to keep you back in it.
Just sending me the drinks.
Hey, shut up, man. Here, take a drink. Right? You know what? Take a drink. Let's go for a ride.
Man, just have some of this Jack.
Right.
No, but here's the thing though. For her question is a very good question. She's asking how, other than church, because
Right.
not
Other
all
than
these
church.
teenagers. Because right now we have an opportunity to reach back down to the younger and try to prepare them for this thing. Okay, ladies, mothers, single parents, even single fathers or whatever, or parents, teach your kids to get mentors other than you. They don't listen to you, parents.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Everything you say is right, but they don't listen to you. You could tell me to mentor your son and tell me exactly what you want, and I can tell him, and he'll listen to me.
Yeah, he gonna listen to
I
a
used to do that
mentor.
when I was coaching. When I was coaching youth football, the parents would come to me. I said, just tell me what you want them to hear while I'm on
Yeah,
practice. Because if they want to play, they're gonna listen to me. And I would go
right,
tell them. It'd be the same thing they mom and daddy told them. We gotta
right.
start telling them to seek out mentor. I tell all my nephews, go find a mentor. You find a mentor. You ought to beg the mentor to mentor you. That mentor
Hmm.
owes you nothing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
beg for that person's time. That's how a boy can become a man.
Hmm.
Mentorship.
Hmm.
Okay, it don't have to be a family uncle. It could be a male you trust that you look at his life and say, you may have made mistakes, but you corrected yourself and you grew up. Teach
Yeah,
my kid, teach my
yeah.
son how to do
Absolutely. Actually,
this.
I had a friend of mine, one of my daughter's mother, her best friend. There was some time in his life he was young, he was messing up, and his daddy was, not really doing nothing. He was like, "Man, can you just mentor my son a little bit? Can you just?" And I just talk to him. Hey, man, come on, your mama by herself. Come on, let's get these schoolwork together. You an athlete. Come on, do your work.
Hmm.
Man, and he's a good kid, man. And he in college now playing football and all that stuff. So I mean, they need that. They need that, man. I
Yeah.
mentored this other young man. Man, him and his mama was butting heads, because his mama like super extra saved, didn't want him to do nothing. And here he is, a
Okay.
17-year-old horny teenage boy with real feelings and stuff, and mama is on his head. And she could not understand it. And his daddy was kind of like laid back, kind of chill. So I kind of like talk to him, help him how to communicate with his mama, tell him, hey, you kind of just you gotta be real with mama, don't lie. But you still got to be a young man, and he's in school right now for his master's. You know what I mean? So these young men, they need that. But Cliff, I kind of want you to talk about what she's saying for even people our age, right? In our 30s and 40s. What are some other coping skills for men that they can reach out to when they are experiencing depression, when they are having anxiety? What are some of the things as men that we can do?
Uh, what I did personally, I got this app.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Day One, and I
It's called
started
what?
journaling.
Say it again.
It's called Day One.
Oh, day one. Okay.
Yeah, and I started journaling, bro. So I started journaling. I started
Mm-hmm.
getting that app, talking about my day. I
Mm-hmm.
started talking about doing gratitude. Gratitude is like very, very uh, this it de-escalate depression and it de-escalate anxiety when you start doing gratitudes, like what you're thankful for today, what you're thankful for, what happened that, or like what could have happened but didn't happen because you
Mm-hmm.
made the right choices. Intentionally making the right choices will help me in the gym. The
Yeah,
gym is a major, major key to like it, and it's scientifically proven
absolutely.
to cure, not just get rid of, to cure depression.
Mm.
So the gym,
Mm-hmm.
camping, going outdoors, touching grass, like like
Mm.
they call it grounding. So like take your shoes
Mm-hmm.
off, put your feet in the grass or in the sand or walk on the concrete. Like, um, and it's crazy to me that these things are kind of God's tools of what helps us cope with something like that attacks us. Because if God wanted us indoors, He would have made bricks and all that when Adam and Eve was in the
In
world.
the
You know what I'm
garden.
saying?
Yeah.
Like,
He didn't give him
he,
a house.
we, yeah, yeah. He wouldn't have had like men, especially for men. Uh, Genesis 2:2 and 18. God did not want man to be alone. One,
Mm-hmm.
two. I believe God made us outdoors for a reason. We can't be indoors like that.
I think that's a good point, because even think about how many people experience depression during
Yeah.
COVID from having
Oh,
to be
bro.
indoors.
So
You know
To
what's
having to
sad?
be
my
You know what's
indoors.
sad is I actually didn't have depression. I was like, good, everybody broke.
Me too.
Sweet,
Me too.
nobody working.
No,
Shoot.
I
But they
felt
took
good
my
too.
gigs away. I was like, bet.
no, I
I'm
didn't, bro.
sorry.
No, but a
I
lot of
did
people
it.
didn't. Yeah.
I did
I
it
get it,
because
yeah.
that was my second round of depression. So my
Mm.
second round with depression, it wasn't like I wasn't in the mode where like I'm gonna kill myself or I want to harm others. It
Mm-hmm.
was more so questioning my being of being here. It's like,
Mm.
why am I here? I'm not contributing. I'm not, helping out. There's nothing for me to do. There's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
was locked in the house. I can't go to outside. Well, we can go outside, but I can't go to the gym. I can't do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I started like going downhill, and
Mm.
then that's when I got on my workout regimen. That's what really turned it around for me. Because over here in Arizona, we were able to still hit the gym, and we
Mm-hmm.
could camp and golf. That's when I got my golf skills up too. So, so those things being outdoors is what really unlocked my second part of my depression because I was deep. Like it was the point to where like me and my wife almost was going through a divorce because I was not talking to her.
Mm.
Like I was what we call it stoning. I was stoning
Mm.
her. Like every time she would drive, I would just look out the window. I'll play.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I have Peyton was on the way, so I was stressing about that. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
like not
Mm-hmm.
being present. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
being as best as possible, being present, going outside, yo. Go outside. Like
Mm.
it's God's design for us to be in nature. Like go see the ocean. Go to the beach.
But I think you
Go
made a good point, Cliff, when you said you gave me two things though. You gave me outside, but also God did not want man to be alone. A
yeah.
lot of times when we're depressed, right, we sink back into
We gotta
ourselves
include
and we
ourselves.
push everybody else away and we start trying to do everything alone as if no one can be there for you, right?
Yeah.
No one is going to understand. I don't feel comfortable being this vulnerable with my friends and family and things like no one's going to get it. No one's going to actually hold my hand and do life with me through this process. And I think a big thing that we need to do as a coping mechanism is find someone that we trust. Find someone that we can say, "Hey, this is how I'm feeling right now. I need you to check on me," or whatever you need in that moment. What you got, Dennis?
Can I address the ladies who might be listening, who might, because I think it's gonna be some women who some real women who say, okay, how do I deal with my man and his, because I see it,
Mm-hmm.
because you gotta remember, um, Adam wasn't with Eve all the time. So he might have been like, "What the heck is this you gave me?" He went in his little cold spot. She came like, "Hey, eat this apple." Like he's like, "Where you been?" You know what I'm saying? So we know he wasn't with her all the time. So he might have been closed up too. Here's the thing:
Mm-hmm.
for the ladies, you gonna notice your man maybe kind of walking around droopy or whatever, kind of closed up. Don't make it about you and jump on him. What's wrong? What's wrong? That's what we do. What's wrong, baby? Baby, what's wrong? You want us to keep asking you till you ready to. What's wrong? Don't do that to us. Open the door. Jesus said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. I'm not forcing my way in. If he ain't forcing his way in, you can't either. This is what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying. Say, hey, babe, I know this is something off or something wrong. When you're ready to talk about it, I'm here for you. And
Mm-hmm.
walk away. Go cook. I mean, if that's what you're gonna cook the dinner, or go deal with something so that he says, dang, you opened the door. Now it's up to me to walk in to you and let you hear what's going on with me without judgment,
Yeah.
without you forcing me. I may not be ready to talk right now,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't force me to talk. Now we go. Then you, well, I mean, what? I feel like you're just closing me out. It's not about you.
Yeah.
Don't make it about you. Stop that
Yeah.
stuff. It's
So
not about you.
I want to go into, since we're talking about coping mechanisms, and so much stuff I want to talk about. We might have to do a part two of this. A lot of times, men as a coping mechanism, we start to go over into substance abuse, right? And Dennis, we had an extensive conversation talking about your alcoholism and how that was a coping mechanism for you for everything else. I personally, and I didn't even recognize this until way later, right? That my coping mechanism to deal with my anxiety and my depression in my early age was ecstasy, right? Cliff, I couldn't go to a party. I couldn't on the weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, Thursday night. If we going out, I gotta pop a pill. I can't have fun. I will. The night won't happen if I ain't got an ecstasy pill. If somebody coming at the house, I
Wow.
gotta have an ecstasy pill. I can't. I
Wow.
can't do nothing. I can't do nothing outside of my job and home without an ecstasy pill. Gotta take it. And I didn't
To get you
realize
hyped, get you
I
ready.
was using that as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
I had Cliff. You know.
perk 30. It's top 2 perk 30.
Cliff was on them
13,
shrooms.
you gotta get them perks.
And he was walking around like this, Cliff. Oh my God.
No, I was, man. Cliff seen me. Cliff
I
seen me.
seen
He
him.
knows.
I was
He was
around.
like, get off of me, Benzie.
I
Get
was the
off.
only one. I was the only one out the crew who never popped X. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to tug myself.
No.
It was me like, shoot, all my niggas is fucked up. We can't all be fucked up. So I was trying
Right.
to just make sure everybody else was good. That's the only way I
Hmm.
stayed away from X, or I would have been popping it too if somebody else was good. But
Absolutely.
yeah, man,
And I
like
think, but Cliff, I'm gonna go with something you said earlier. I think even, especially young men, to deal with some of our emotional issues that we struggle with, we use sex. We use sex. How
yeah,
many different chicks can I bone? So I ain't got to think about what I'm really struggling with, right? How many, bruh, me and Cliff done dropped each other off at different chicks' houses, waited
That's a man's
outside, go
coping
to,
mechanism when he break
right,
up with
go
his
to the
girl.
next chick house and go, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? We all that type of stuff. But really, what were we doing? We was covering up what we were struggling with in that time.
yeah,
Struggling,
and
struggling with some very toxic relationships, struggling, trying to raise kids and having issues with baby mamas and trying to keep a job and trying to pay bills and trying to go to school. Like all this stuff in our head was just going crazy. And when you in your early and mid 20s, what can I do that's easy? Bone a
yeah.
chick. Bone a chick.
Especially
It
after a
was
breakup.
to me dealing with coping with depression was me emotionally attaching myself. I feel like I'm close. Am I close?
Yeah, you are.
Uh,
Your five head is in the camera.
I still got hair. I still got hair. uh, I feel like I was emotionally attaching myself to these women. Like that's the way I cope. It wasn't even just about the sex. It was just like I wanted to be around somebody and give my feelings to, take their feelings, mush them all together, and then I'll feel bad. And I just kept leaving that trail,
Mm.
that stain behind. All right, it's the morning. I got the morning chick out the way. Let's go to the afternoon chick. You know what I'm saying? And blah blah blah. Like that was.
You getting in trouble? Man, you
There
stay
you
getting in
go, getting in
trouble on the
trouble.
line.
There was nobody before me. There was nobody before me.
Hey, tell Shy we listen and we don't
You
judge.
know, judge.
We listen and we don't judge. Cliff, Chicago, that's Mufasa.
Yeah, like I was leaving that emotionally, that destruction at every chick I was dealing with, man. And like
Mhm.
sex is, is it's supposed to be something to uplift you and get again in Christianese, uplift the body of Christ.
Mhm.
But it also can be abused, just like alcohol. Like alcohol has a purpose, marijuana has a purpose, but it's also there's an abusiveness to it.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
anything that's good and you're doing it to an extreme becomes a weakness at some
Absolutely.
point. So
Absolutely.
alcohol is cool, you social, like not only alcohol, is weed is cool, you socially smoke, but after you start abusing it, then it becomes weak and you become weak. So now you're
Yeah.
depending on this weed and you're
Mm.
depending on this drug and you're depending on sex or whatever. So again, man, like I started. So uh,
Mm.
biblically, Jesus had his 12 people, right? 12
Mhm.
homies. He had his six, then he had his three, then he had his one. So I encourage
Mm.
anybody when they're going through depression, always have your three and your one. Because the three is gonna be around you, they're gonna uplift you, they're gonna ride behind you, but you always have that one where you can release this pressure to. Like
Mm.
everybody can't have the pressure that you're going through. Like there's one person that I can talk to about everything. Then there's
Mhm.
three people that I can talk to about some of the things, and then there's
Mhm.
six people I can talk to about a little bit of the things. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
get that around you. That's gonna help you get out of the depression. Um,
Look, what the heck is it?
Right? How you in the
boo
middle
boo?
of a sentence and you get up?
My wife see me on here. She asking me for car keys, wallet. You know what I'm
So yeah, man, I think we got about 5 minutes left, man, because I do gotta hop into another meeting, man. But I think we need to do a part 2 of this because there's so much stuff that I want to talk about. I want to talk about why there's lack of black men who are properly diagnosed. I want to talk about why we don't have there's a stat in here I want to tell y'all. Where is it at? Where's that? Less than 10 psychologists are black men. And so a lot of times when you have a therapist or a psychologist, you want to have somebody that you can relate to, that you can trust. And if we're a black man and we want to be able to relate and trust a psychologist, a professional that can help us deal with some of these areas, we don't see us in these fields. Especially with me, I'm dealing with with children, with kids, in the foster care system. They have a lot of mental health issues. They've been through a lot of trauma, and they always have to talk to women, and not even very few black women at that, but there are more black women than there are black men. So hey, thank y'all so much for tonight, man. We're gonna do a part 2. We're not done talking about mental health. There's so much more we could talk about. I just had to do 1 hour tonight. That's all I had. Got some other stuff I need to take care of. But listen, man, next week I got somebody. We're gonna talk about some more health stuff. I got a really interesting, cool guest, man. It's really gonna be a blessing. I hope somebody tonight was helped. If not, hopefully you can help somebody else with this information. And we real men, we fathers, we sons, we brothers. We out here working, we doing what we got to do, and we go through real things. So I kind of want to expose that to y'all. If we can help just one person, that's the goal, man. So for tonight, man, give me a closing thought, Dennis. Give me a closing thought, Cliff. I'm gonna wrap it up and then we out. Hit me, Dennis.
Oh, I would just say encourage
me, baby,
encourage the men in your life, whether they're your boy, your friend, your brother, whatever, that it's okay to open up, and there's a safe place with you or whoever that you think that they might feel is safe, because men need a safe place to open up or they're gonna close down.
Absolutely. That's good. Cliff, what you got?
Never eat yellow snow.
What?
I feel bad that I mentored Cliff all summer.
Ooh, I wonder what this tastes like.
Oh man, I got a clown, bro. I got a clown.
Yeah.
Men, if you're all the men that are out here or on here or going to listen later, listening right now, do not do life alone.
That's so good.
That's where you get trapped. If you're doing life alone, my mom, and I hate this saying so much. The idle mind is the devil's playground. I used to hate it when my mom told me that. But as I got mature and older, I know what that really means.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Don't do life alone, because if you do, you're gonna be gone.
That's good. And I'm gonna say this, man. Everyone, educate yourself. Learn about these things, man. Learn about the simple things of depression, anxiety, and how to recognize some of these signs in some of your friends and some of your people, because this could save a life, man. Like I said, we men, and we're talking about it here, but a lot of men don't talk about this stuff. And you want to be able to recognize this in the men that you love, in your sons, your brothers, your homeboys, your boyfriend, your baby daddy, your uncles. You want to be able to recognize this in men. So get educated, read up on it. And like these brothers said, don't do life alone, and make a safe space for us to talk about it, man. Hey, this has been the It's Mental Podcast. Catch us next week. We got another dope show for y'all. 7:30 p.m. We got another dope show for y'all, man. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, I think there's a heart option. If you're watching on TikTok, show us some love, man. Show us some love. I need to buy my boys some good equipment so they can not have Britney Spears microphones. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all so much, man. God bless y'all. We out.